Welcome to week 3. We're going to be diving into the heart of blues. Today we're going to be covering blues scales and that one note that gives it its signature sound. We've already laid the groundwork with rhythms and chords. Now it's time to dive into the scales that will elevate your solos. First, we're going to start out with the pentatonic scales in minor and major in the keys of E and A. These scales are the backbone of blues music and it's essential to master them. I'll guide you through the structure and how to play them. Next, I'll show you how to add in the famous blue note, which transitions these pentatonic scales into the blues scale 1. This scale is essential for that classical blues sound. Incorporating these scales into your riffs and solos is really where the magic happens. I'll be sure to show you some tips on how to use the minor and major scales effectively. You'll learn how to weave these notes into your riffs and solos so you can add depth and emotion. I'll also share with you some finger exercises to build dexterity so that your runs are smooth and effortless. First, we're going to start with the minor pentatonic scale in the key of A. Pentatonic scale means 5 tones, or the 5 tones of a scale. A standard scale has 7 notes. For the pentatonic scale, you remove the 2nd and the 6th note. The normal A minor scale looks like this. For the pentatonic scale, we're going to remove this note and this note. And so it looks like this. And then it resolves back on A. To play this scale all the way down across the 5th fret, it looks like this. Pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, pinky, pointer, pinky. Be sure to use the tips of your finger and that your knuckles are bent when you play. You shouldn't see any fingers bending backwards or flat. Just make sure your fingers stay as close to the strings as possible as you move down. Don't let any of your fingers fly away. For the major pentatonic scale, shift your fingers up 1 fret this way. The major pentatonic looks like this. Middle, pinky, pointer, pinky, pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, middle, pinky, middle, pinky. To play these scales in the key of E, you can simply move your hand up to the 12th fret. It's the exact same pattern here. E minor pentatonic looks like this. For E major, shift 1 fret up and play the exact same pattern you did up top. To take this A minor pentatonic shape and turn it into the blues scale, you only add 1 note. To make it the blues scale, you add in the flat 5th of the minor scale. So if you count through your minor scale and count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you just plus this note right here, the flat 5th. That's the blue note. If you add that to the pentatonic shape, it looks like this. If you continue that scale into the 2nd octave, it looks like this. The major blues scale looks like this. The easiest way to play the blues scale in the key of E is starting on the 12th fret. The blues scale pattern looks like this. For E major blues, it looks like this. the backing tracks and just start playing through these scales backwards and forwards until you get really familiar with the general pattern. For E major blues, it looks like this. The magic of the blues scales is that it defies conventional wisdom about scales and how they're used. Typically, you'd play a minor scale over a minor key, and a major scale over a major key. What's magic about the blues scale is you can play the minor pentatonic blues and the major pentatonic blues scale over the exact same chord. A really cool example of this would be playing the major blues scale over the 1 in the 12-bar blues. When it goes to the second chord of the 12-bar blues, try switching it up and playing the minor blues scale over that chord. And then when it goes back to the 1, you can switch back to major. That looks like this. Once you're comfortable with these shapes, experiment with playing these notes in different orders. Nothing is off limits, there is no wrong pattern. Just play around and see what sounds good to you. You'll learn so much just through this experimentation process. Next, pick any random sequence of notes. While these sequences typically end with a root note, they don't have to. Here's an example. Next, I want to show you a finger exercise that'll help you build dexterity and finger independence. What's challenging about learning the guitar is that your fingers don't naturally work independently without training. To train finger independence, I recommend these two exercises. The first one is a lot of fun. If you were to put all of your fingers down on the G string and assign one finger per fret, it would be very easy for you to take your pointer finger, lift it up, and extend it to the top string, and go back to the bottom string. Your fingers wouldn't naturally have a hard time doing this. Same for your middle finger. Same for your pinky. Your pinky might have a hard time stretching, and it might lack some strength, but it's not going to be terribly difficult. However, when you try to use your ring finger, it's going to feel like you've never used your hand before. Your fingers might fly away, they might pull other fingers with it, or it might just not even get the message from your brain to move at all. To help build more independence with your ring finger, keep all of your fingers pressed down and work on stretching it to the top and bottom string, back and forth. You could even play those notes. See if you can go up and down 20 times. The second exercise is the spider. It looks like this. It looks like a spider crawling across the fretboard. To do this correctly, you only want to move the finger that you're using next. Otherwise, you're going to keep those fingers planted to the string they were on previously. I'm only going to move this finger, only my middle, ring, pinky. And you can go back up. Practice adding speed and control to move up the fretboard. Your assignment this week is to practice both the major and the minor blues scales. Use the backing tracks below to experiment and improvise with how they sound and feel. That's it for this week. Keep practicing, because next week we're going to get into the techniques used by some of the greatest blues legends. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.